So it looks like this is working. It looks like indeed here, in my case, on first try, I got a working game. And again, this might not be the case for you. If it isn't the case, if something is not working, definitely feel free to improve it with ChatGPT. For example, here, I'll break it by removing this line, which ChatGPT did give me, but I'm removing it here. And then I'll say, the game is not working. And ChatGPT will then suggest what could be done to fix this. Now here I didn't give ChatGPT any details, and indeed the code it gives me does work, so therefore it's giving me some general recommendations, like for example that I might not have Python installed on my system, or the file does not have a py extension, and these are all helpful hints. But of course, things become more helpful if I tell Python what's wrong. For example, here, now that I removed this extra line, if I try to execute this, it simply prints the welcome message but then quits. So I could also tell ChatGPT, the game is not working. When I start it, it just prints welcome to Monster Slayer and then quits. Now, if ChatGPT would have given me some wrong code, it likely would be able to find the error in its code. Not guaranteed, but it might find that error. Since here the code is correct, we'll see what we get here, because here I'm just simulating that it might not be working. And therefore, indeed, now it's looking for an error that's actually not there in its code, that doesn't exist in its code. But nonetheless, here, indeed, it does try to change the code such that it hopefully does work now, even though technically it did work before. But since we told ChatGPT that the code does not work, it generates some new code, which then hopefully does work. Again, it's all a bit of a made-up scenario here, but it's of course also not unlikely that the result you get from ChatGPT does not work on first try, and in such situations it's important to know how you can help yourselves. So here I'm getting this updated code. And now that I got this updated code, I'll copy it. And in my case here, replace my existing code. And now give it another try by running Python Monster Slayer, and I'll play it again, going through these different options, and looks like I again defeated the monster. So this updated code also worked, and if there would have been an error in there, in this case it would have been resolved. Now, of course, when asking ChatGPT to generate code for you, it's important to not just check whether it works in general, so if you're getting any errors, but you also might want to check if it maybe contains bugs that do not cause the program to crash. But in this case here, for example, the game might be too simple or too difficult, too hard. And you also, of course, want to test whether that's the case and tell ChatGPT if it is. So here, if I run this game, I want to see if the monster can actually defeat me. And for that, I'll start by healing myself, which actually leads to me losing health because I already was at full health, so healing had no effect. Instead, the monster just hit me. And then I'll continue with regular attacks all the way down, so that ultimately here indeed I lost. So the monster can defeat me if I'm just spamming regular attacks. That being said though, indeed here I lost, but I was not asked whether I want to start a new game. Therefore here I'll quit manually by pressing Ctrl+C on my keyboard. This will quit the program, and I will tell ChatGPT that the game should ask me whether I want to start a new game, even if I did lose. Now for that, I'll first of all verify whether I am getting asked if I do win, because maybe it's just this new game version that doesn't ask anymore. And yeah, indeed here, if I win, I'm also not getting asked. So now we do have a bug here that's not causing the program to crash, but nonetheless the game does not behave as intended. Therefore here I will send a follow-up message, a follow-up prompt to ChatGPT, where I say, the game is not asking me whether I want to start a new game after I won or lost. Also, the game should be a bit harder. I'm adding this as a follow-up prompt because whilst testing the game, I saw that it had this bug where in the end I was not able to restart it, and I personally also found it slightly too easy because yes, if I spammed only regular attacks I could lose, but as soon as I start adding heals and strong attacks, it's basically impossible to lose. So maybe now ChatGPT tweaks those damage and heal values a little bit to make it a bit harder, and hopefully it fixes this error where I can't restart the game. Let's see what I'm getting here. Here's the updated code. I'll copy it and replace my code with it. And with that code used here, I'll then start this game again. And I'll start with a strong attack, regular attack, regular attack. And here I can see now our health values are equal, so it looks like it's a bit harder. If I heal myself, I even now lost health because I only healed for 10 health points and the monster hit me for 21. So here I didn't have a lot of luck. Heal is definitely not overpowered. With the strong attack, I'm getting closer, but here it looks like I might lose. Wow, close. It was very close. I hit for 15 here, that's why I won, but it was really close, so it definitely was harder, I'd say. And I'm getting asked whether I want to play again. Here I'll choose yes. We start at 100 health each again. And now here, I'm again going in. Really close again, and this time I lost. So, definitely harder, that's good. And here I don't want to play again, so that all works, and therefore now the game works as it should. And you also saw how you can fix an error that might crash the program or that might lead to the game not even starting, and how you can fix a bug that's a bit harder to spot, both with help of ChatGPT, and you of course also saw how you can, for example, tweak the program that's generated by ChatGPT. In this case, we made it a bit harder, but you can tweak it in any way you want. For example, of course, also with these enhancements I showed you earlier. These are the enhancements I'll now tackle next in the next lectures.